see this beautiful cast. Of course, they can't be any other cast except for the cast from the Carmichael Show on NBC. You guys, the first season was so much fun.
Thank you.
So much fun. What can we expect for the second season?
So much more fun.
And
lots.
Real life topics.
Yeah,
We're talking about real things like abortion, cheating. You know, we going in.
Right.
And what's crazy, I think even with season 1, we set the tone, you know, for like somebody really doing a great job of bringing those topics up and not being corny about it. I think we took it from a real standpoint, and seeing other shows do the same thing, but you know, we finna take it up to another level. You thought y'all figured us out, but y'all haven't figured nothing out yet. They're gonna see, yeah.
So you guys get to work with some really great veteran actors. You got Loretta Devine, you got David Allen Greer. What's that like, especially as a black person in the industry, to have such great trailblazers that you get to work with?
Man, it feels like David Allen Greer, like as a comic and an actor, that's somebody I looked up to my whole life, really, not even just career. Before I even decided to do this, you know, the way that dude make faces and his professionalism. Like if you watch some of season 1, you can see me breaking most of the time. After he say a line, he do one of them David Allen Greer lip thingies, and it's just funny. He just
What's it look like again?
It's like, I don't know how you do it. It's kind of dope. And then Loretta's amazing. Like Loretta is, she's one of our great actresses of our time, to be honest with you. And I love working with her.
Dream come true, girl. Dream come true.
Right.
That's what it is.
And then Amber, tell me about just being on the show, and then the fact that you guys, you have a scripted show, but I'm sure there's a lot of times where you'll go off of the script and you'll just keep going. How much of it is scripted versus just improv?
On tape night, it is all scripted. By the time we get to tape night, it is completely scripted. But we have a lot of fun during rehearsals trying to find what works best, and then the writers are rewriting new things, changing things up to make it the best version that it can be. But I mean, I'm in a group of all stand-up comics. It's like me and Loretta are the only two who have no stand-up experience, so everyone is like so sharp and coming up with great ideas and great jokes, and Gerard is very open to anything, everything goes, so we have a lot of fun.
Do you think you've gotten your stand-up comedy stuff up now that you've had some practice?
I could never. I've told them if you guys write me a set, I would do 5 minutes, but I think that's called acting, because someone else writes it for you, so I'm still very unsure if I could I can pull it off. They're so good though, so I don't know. I'm too intimidated.
Well, you have some really, really, really funny jokes on the show. Tiffany, what would you say is probably the best topic that you've covered the first season?
I would say Black Lives Matter was the best one. It was my favorite because I got to steal from the bottom of my heart. And it was fun, and it's something that I definitely could relate to, you know, being a young adult and feeling like we're being taken advantage of, and it's like, what can I do to get back, get mine?
Right.
And sometimes when you're not educated enough, you do things that you probably shouldn't do to get yours. And that's what I liked about the episode, is that, you know, we showed all aspects of how different people think in that type of situation.
Right.
That was a great episode. The protest episode was amazing, and and it was funny, and it had great energy and like classic lines that people repeated and tweeted. So yeah, protest probably was one of the best ones too. Actually, yeah, I love
really
protest.
Was.
Yeah.
That was a really exceptional episode. Yeah.
And then so going forward, what do you want people to take away from this show, especially because you cover so many topics, but you do it in a very comedic way? What do you want them to take away?
You know, and this what goes on with, I think everything became so PC nowadays. I think what our show represents is that you can find humor in everything, you know what I'm saying, and still talk about some serious things. You know, everything is not as cut and dry like it is. Like, oh, you shouldn't say this, you can't do this. I think Gerard and his genius mind, which is what he do on stage already, figured out a way to put that on a television show, which is what make our show unique. I mean, you think about All in the Family and all those shows and stuff they used to talk about, and to still bring humor to it was genius. And I think Gerard is, I don't know, he's on to something with this.
I really want people to come away with wanting to talk about these topics themselves in their own house and like starting their own conversation, because I think that's what kind of creates progress and change in the world, is just having open conversation, because a lot of people talk to others who have the same opinion as themselves, and then there's no growth. So I think our show shows so many different perspectives that I think people will want to talk more with their peers and their families about these certain topics, and maybe we'll change people's minds a little bit.
Right. In the history of television, all the greatest shows have created conversation and being able to bring people together, whether they agree or disagree. And that is what I love about our show, is that wherever I go and somebody's like, oh, you on the Carmichael Show? Let me ask you about this. Can I talk to you about this Kale episode? Right. Like, it's that type of conversation that I think is the best thing ever. When people are able, like, it invokes, like, oh, I want to say this about it. This is my opinion. Yeah. That's awesome. All the best shows in history have done that.
Right.
And even the honeymooners.
You know what? That is true. That is true. So make sure you guys stay tuned because we're going to see the season 2 of the Carmichael Show very soon.
Yes.